BackgammonGalaxy.com is custom made for the backgammon community. Boost your skills with AI analysis, compete for rating points or Galaxy coins, play in the browser or download our Backgammon Galaxy app for free and become the next Grandmaster. BackgammonGalaxy.com is the official sponsor of Nordic Open and the Backgammon World Championship.
I've been thinking about backgammon my whole life, and for the past 8-10 years, I've been living backgammon.
I'm like crazy about backgammon, you know? I cannot imagine stopping playing backgammon.
It's hard to imagine my life without backgammon. Of course, I have some interest, but without backgammon, I can't imagine that.
To play backgammon is like the best thing in the world. You know, I mean, really, it is the best thing in the world.
I mean, the game is crazy because it brings you really down and it can also bring you really high.
If somebody doesn't like playing games, he's not gonna play games. If somebody likes playing games, he's gonna like backgammon, in my opinion.
I imagine my life when I lose my legs or something like that, but I would play backgammon.
This is my tribe, these are my people.
This is the community I want to be a part of. These are the hotels, tournaments, what I want to experience with. It's way better than just vacation by the sea.
I've never been involved in another community that's quite as close-knit as backgammon is. And I know professional poker players who tell me they like backgammon more. They may play more poker because they make more money, but they'll tell me they'd rather play backgammon than poker.
I enjoy backgammon, I think, more than poker, but I think there's much more money in poker and more competition in poker because there's way more players, or 100 times more players in poker.
I just love backgammon. I mean, backgammon for me is just such a brilliant game. It has all the elements that I love, the aesthetic, the complexity, the excitement, the skill level, the social element.
Backgammon is one of the most fun games to play. It's very exciting. There's always action. There's never a dull moment.
I love the feeling playing, I love the feeling winning, I don't love the feeling losing. And I had the feeling that every game what I play, I will win.
I don't have time to play backgammon and poker. I have to choose one of them, and I love backgammon more than poker.
Either you invest yourself into one game and then you can become great at that. If you invest too much energy into many different games, then you're going to become good, but you can't really become great.
What I really enjoy most about backgammon is the idea that there's a decision about every 3 seconds.
Backgammon has all the information on the table, and backgammon, I think, has many more active decisions than poker does. In poker, you have to have a lot of patience, and while you're being patient and not playing a hand, you're collecting a lot of information about the people around you and their behavior, and then when you do act, you're more informed.
The biggest difference in poker is the psychology. In the backgammon, the psychology is small, but not significant. In poker, it's gigantic. That's a huge difference, but it's otherwise just critical thinking, and there's probabilities in both if you need to be able to do some simple math.
I like the action. Poker, I'm sleeping. I have to wait a good hand. It's not mine.
You've got to be patient in poker, yeah. It can be brutal, tournament poker. You can go hours and you just have to be patient.
In poker, there's a lot of sitting and waiting for your hands and whatever, and watching and reading the other people, and it got kind of boring to me. In backgammon, it's like you're talking and you're smiling and you're laughing and you're playing your opponent.
I like the social aspects in backgammon more because poker, it's psychological warfare.
One thing I can tell you about backgammon players, it is a strong social community. I played a little bit of poker too, and I know a lot of poker players, and that's a more cold community.
When I'm playing poker, I'm going to go into that cold mode. Backgammon, you don't have to be so cold. So that part I like about backgammon.
What makes this game so great is that it combines being a mind sport with being a social game, with being a game of perfect information, but also imperfect information, and a psychological game. I think that understanding is really bringing this to an art. You know, that this game is so great. If it didn't have that, this will be reduced to checkers, you know? It's just a very complicated form of checkers if it's about XG and PR. But it's more than that.
When I was a student, backgammon was a make friend, social game. Huh? But after start play tournament, backgammon become mind sports.
For me, by far the most is mind sport. I love the intellectual challenge of it. The chaotic elements of backgammon, you can't ever quite get your hands around it, but yet you still have the ability to shape it to some degree.
I find backgammon as the great tool to improve your thinking, improve your thoughts, thinking process in general, logical thinking. It's so complex, as not too many people outside cannot imagine, that you can just see the natural person when he's playing the game of backgammon, how he thinks, how he reacts, how he behaves, basically through himself who the player really is. How somebody plays backgammon, it can very much relate into many things in life as well.
When I play somebody new, after 2 games in the match, I build a psychological profile of my opponent. I almost feel like how he feels. I know his temperature, even more so true in money games, right? Because it's very important. So if player is like passive or conservative, I'm going to be more and more aggressive. I'm going to be whatever he doesn't like to see, whatever makes him uncomfortable. If he's aggressive, I'm going to be boring, slow, and very conservative.
So when I have a match, I focus my position. But if my opponent has confidence, I feel not so good. So I try. I have confidence.
I still try to think about the human element of the game. Before I'll double, I always take a gaze at my opponent and try to read a little bit of body language.
If my shoulder is this, no confidence, right? So if I do this, look strong.
When you have that energy, and some people would call it spiritual energy or confidence, in my opinion, what happens is it just causes you to have a better mind frame to pursue the correct decisions and look at them in the right way.
Your job is not only play well, your job is to take your opposition out of the comfort zone. Majority of players do not even think that way. It's never entered their mind. In my opinion, the very good player is first a psychologist, understand people, and only then comes backgammon.
Backgammon is the game where I really feel very confident about. So I feel like I know what my player's tendencies are. I know kind of exactly what he's gonna do, when he's gonna roll, when he's gonna double, when he's gonna miss the cube. I know what I have to do to maximize my chances in order to do what I want. Each information is just important for me, and it can mean something. And if I work with that information in a certain way, I'm pretty sure I can increase probability of him making the wrong decision in certain moments.
I bluff when I play backgammon. If your opponent feels uncomfortable, you can bluff him. There's definitely a bluffing aspect, but it's not that in poker it's much bigger. So you should think about bluffing when you're playing backgammon.
If you are overthinking, I think it's hard. If you're like me and you enjoy the game and I feel like I just want to play. I don't care about the PR. I don't care about your PR. I don't care about the PR at all. I don't care. I care about winning.
For me, mentally, it's quite a tough approach when you're ambitious, when you don't just play for fun. I think there's a frustrating part about backgammon which doesn't necessarily apply to many other things in life, and that is because of the PRs. You are constantly reminded of your mistakes. And in many other parts of life, it's not as clear to you when you do brilliant things or you do big mistakes. In backgammon, you will be told the second you see the analysis. And at least at my level, it's extremely frustrating when I've been playing and then be told that I've actually played bad.
Now, it's not about the camaraderie, etc. It's more about the performance rating, their PR, and trying to be the best at the game.
I'm kind of against this PR trend. I like Galaxy as an app, and I love the streaming content that the UBC has been able to provide, but I don't like how PR has come to dominate everything. It's not just a question of like memorizing the right moves or playing like the computer. It's also about patience and etiquette and being a gentleman. This obsession with PR misses that.
I think the mathematical part of backgammon is overstated. It's not that big, and whoever is able to calculate something would easily be wrong. Backgammon is more, to me, like much more like a music than mathematics. When a certain move or a position looks harmonical, you know, no big stacks or anything, often it's a correct play as well. Backgammon has its certain inner rhythm, almost like a music, and a harmony.
I look at the board in a very kind of musical way. Music, shapes, and colors. If I'm seeing something that's in danger of being hit, it's red. The ones that are safe are green. And then there's all these shades in between.
You have to like this game to play Backgammon. You have to love this game like a woman, I think. It's not easy because this is like the mostly a men's world.
I would say I would separate backgammon players into two camps. More positional, field type of players. It usually comes from the money game. And more preparational type of players who try to remember reference positions.
But a good backgammon player will put the entire match on the line if they think it improves their win probability. They're focused on the balance of the risk versus the reward and the net effect of that.
The risk reward is much more interesting to me than chess. And it's much more useful in real life and in business and everything like that. You have to measure how much risk you take and what the reward is. In backgammon, you take a lot of risk in the beginning and then you get conservative.
The beauty of backgammon is every move you make is a risk reward. And that's just, I think there are a lot of life lessons to be learned in backgammon, and I think that how you know, people handle themselves and behave under intense pressure, which of course this is, you know, I think is extraordinarily important.
What's interesting to me is that the better PR players actually in chouettes tend to take more risks, and their PR, if you measure their PR in chouettes, it would be way down from what their PR in tournaments are, just because they love it. They just love the risk.
I'm very interested in decision theory and human behavior and human decision making and cognitive bias. And all of those elements exist in backgammon, and I've learned quite a bit about it through backgammon. And I've been able to sort of take some of these ideas into some entrepreneurial business ventures.
You can decide everything by yourself, right? It's your game. Like whatever you do, it's your own decision, everything. But life is not like that. Just getting less PR doesn't really mean, you know, getting better in the life.
Backgammon it's about life. It's about how you handle tough situations, right? In life you're gonna have tough situations where you're gonna have like a 5% chance that you succeed. But you only have 5% if you like do your best. Like if you do your worst, you have maybe 0%, 2% or something. So if you really do your best, you have 5%. But you have to do your best. Otherwise you're just dead. That's the lesson of backgammon, and that's the lesson of life.
The game teaches us so much. It teaches us modesty, it can teach etiquette. I believe it was called The Cruelest Game by Barclay Cook, and I believe in that. And it teaches us so much about life.
What you're going to do in life. These are all of the things backgammon teaches us. You must have patience, understanding, knowledge, logic, probabilities. All of those things are life in general. So I think they're one and the same. It's a mind sport. You have to do a lot of thinking, as you have to do in life, in order to move forward, in order to be a successful individual at whatever you do. And that's why it's important to get backgammon in schools.
But the life lessons you learn in backgammon, to me, are just unparalleled in anything else. Nothing else compares to it, really nothing else.
Comparing backgammon to life, I think, is more of a metaphor, but I don't think you're like living life day to day thinking, what I do if this is a backgammon position. Maybe there's some people who do that. I've never done it that far. So.
Life is much bigger than backgammon. Life is more complicated. You want to improve, right? But what is improvement in life? You know, it's a big world, you know. You might want to get more salary, you might have a happier life, you might have a happier relationship, so it's unclear. So I cannot say how the life improvement going.
Backgammon is a mixture of luck and skills, but the skill is infinite.
If you are not a really, really bad player and you have more luck than your opponent, then he don't have a chance. If he plays a 2 PR or a 1 PR or I don't know, he don't have a chance.
Luck is only 20%, and the skill is 80%.
50% luck, 30% social skills, and 20% skill.
Game of luck, dice game, I don't care. Let's get rid of it. So for me, mind sports and the social game, that's two major parts. I want to focus on these two.
I mean, in terms of winning and losing, game of luck factor is huge. But luck is even out in the end. You know, nobody gets lucky all the time, right? In that sense, luck factor is 0. So what can I say? You're actually comparing like different things, I think.
I don't care about luck because I can't handle luck. Luck just comes. I just prepare with my skills. When good luck comes to me, I'm gonna catch it. Yeah, with my skills.
Because luck is just like a part of life, and it's very much a part of backgammon, right? And you have people, they think, oh, I was very unlucky in backgammon, and well, they're lucky in life. And then they go home and they're upset that they were unlucky in the backgammon session, you know.
I believe backgammon is very similar to our life. The idea is the same. We want to use some skills in our life, but luck is huge in our life. Let's say we ask people who succeeded in their life. I believe many people say I was lucky, and I believe they all have very good skills in life. But at the same time, they knew that they were very lucky in their lives. So life and backgammon are very similar.
Backgammon was my first nice game where I started playing, and I just could see the potential in it. I could see that my mind never stops working and that I've got endless possibilities, and I like the new challenge.
I want to become very, very, very good at it. And it keeps surprising me how difficult that is, because it's so difficult to play correctly.
I learned over time that actually adjusting to a weaker opponent, not in terms of condescending to him, but actually respecting that, he's doing his best and you need to adjust your game slightly, but not too much. This is very useful. You have to respect the opponent. His weakness in backgammon doesn't make him not a good person, so you need to be polite to him.
Because I started so late, I'm just extremely impatient. I'm pretty sure that in 10, 15 years I'll be a very good player, but I would like for it to take 2 or 5 years.
The nice thing about backgammon is it's fairly deep, but it's not so deep that you can't start when you're in your teens or in your 20s. Games like Go and chess, if you don't start when you're really young, you're going to be too old.
Now a young player do nothing but play Extreme Gammon or play on Backgammon Galaxy and study their matches and read lots of material, and they could become very, very good in a much more accelerated period of time.
I hope my students don't listen to this, because I believe that lessons actually help me more than my students. Because it makes me think about the game, it makes me express my thoughts, because you can sometimes just feel a certain way, but you cannot actually explain it. You have to explain it to other player. It makes you think more structurally about the game, and it helps my game a lot.
There was a boom in the 70s and 80s of backgammon, and it was played all over the world. Every bar had a backgammon table in those days. But it's probably played as much now then. It's just not in bars, it's online. So backgammon's being played more now probably than any other time in the past.
If there was no Monaco in my life, I'm sure I would be missing it, because this is a different world. This is a tradition for backgammon community, and everything started here.
I will never stop coming to Monte Carlo, and I will never stop playing backgammon for sure.
And I will not stop. I will stop coming here when I will stop playing backgammon.
I will probably come every year as long as I'm healthy enough to come.
I think 2 out of every 3 years I'd like to come, as so long as I can, financially and health-wise, and God willing, those things, I will be here.
My name is Esteban and I'm from France. I won the World Junior Championship.
I think players really appreciate all the hard work put in by all the staff as well as the organizers. I only see this continuing to grow.
The doubles world champion of 2023. They are from Japan. Hirono Shimodaira, Kenji Shimodaira.
We won doubles! A free trip to Monte Carlo.
I think the Backgammon World Championship has a really bright future, actually, because, like I said, we have a strong team, and we want to continue to push it forward as much as possible. There's a lot of people involved, you know, and everyone is energetic and they like what they do. So as long as this continues, it's just going to keep growing.
I'm really proud and happy. I've played for many years, 30 years I think, and I've been to Monte Carlo many times. And I was almost giving up winning a tournament. Yes. I'm not really champ, as others says I am world champion, but it was only intermediate.
Max Petersen, the winner of intermediate.
To me, come as early as you can. Why? Because the experience of being here and experience of playing the real tournament and feel that pressure, feel the intensity, feel the atmosphere, hear the good players talking around you, you know, and being in the middle of that by itself will be such an invaluable lesson and will bring your game to the new level much faster than any homework that you can do before that.
I'm so excited because I just won the latest World Championship in Monaco, my first time here in Monte Carlo, and I didn't expect to win, but you know what? Might as well go for it when you're here, right? Actually, it's my cube. I had a wooden cube broke match. Someone gave me as a gift with my name on it. And when I started using that cube, I started winning.
Maggie, Diamantidis, women's world champion.
Yes.
Anyone that's never been here, you should definitely come. It is an amazing weekend. I'll guarantee you'll have a good time, and I'll guarantee you'll come back if you come once.
In this championship match, 196 players have been eliminated, leaving these two fine gentlemen fighting for the championship. From Germany, I give you Kühl! The other finalist from the US event. In the finals for a second time, the 1994 World Champion, Frigo!
Yeah, we will speak up. Here we go. Well,
that's the way we want.
That's the first roll. Here we go. Frank is winning the first roll, a 5-1.
Oh, Frank is making the conservative.
Wow,
That's about the fifth time in the match.
Wow, that was a big take.
He seems to be quite conservative, both in terms of doubling, cashing, and taking. Now Frank's got to figure out this is like way better than a 2-roll versus 2-roll.
In a sort of similar position, Frank didn't double earlier.
Good
Remember
cube,
that?
Frank.
Good cube by Frank.
And now
Attaboy.
Mario is, look at his body language. It's really sick. His take point is 9.1%, and as we can see, he has 7.1%. So that's not actually not
nice
easy
drop
to figure out over the board.
Very good.
Frank has 8 men off, and Mario's totally crunched.
Oh,
wow.
ball game.
It's over.
World champion, second time.
2-time world champion.
2-time world champion, Frank Frigo. Great match.
I feel amazing. It's surreal. I don't know what to say. I had an emotion at the end that I didn't expect. I'm just so happy, and I feel such amazing support. I mean, the amount of support I've gotten here and all over the world from friends, and it's been amazing.
So Frank's got all of his San Diego crew with him, So I think they're gonna be partying tonight. Mario looks slightly disappointed, but
They're both heroes in my book. You played amazing. You were terrific, but you had such guts.
without any hedging, Frank is taking home more than 100,000 euro in the first prize. That's incredible.
The first time, I mean, I was with my wife, Stephanie, the first time, so that was very special. This time, I felt like I was more present, and I was really enjoying every step of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear esteemed guests of 54th World Backgammon Championship, it was a fabulous week with more than 280 participants, representing approximately 14 national flags, competing for a total prize pool of approximately 650,000 euros in total. This is, with no question, the most prestigious backgammon event of the world, and becoming the world champion should be a dream for all backgammon players, but very few can achieve this 2 times. 29 years after his first success, there he is again, and he is undefeated. Here comes the 54th World Backgammon Champion, Frank Frigo!
Amazing tournament at an amazing venue. Anybody who hasn't been here needs to come. Just so much fun. I mean, where else could you be in July with Monte Carlo like Backgammon, right? This has been just an emotional roller coaster for me. When the match ended, I didn't even know what to think. I just felt like all the hair had been let out of me. I've been holding it in all week. I'm happy and I've been partying.
Frank Frigo, 54th World Backgammon Champion. Congratulations. We will meet again, somewhere again. Take good care of yourself until then. Bye-bye.
This is it. The week is over. We have a new world champion going in the history books, going to Wikipedia. I'm standing here in front of the oldest casino in the world, the Monte Carlo Casino, on the rooftop of the Fairmont Hotel. What a unique and special place, and what a special week this was, the 54th edition of the Backgammon World Championship. Hopefully next year is going to be even better. It usually is. We've made a lot of good friends here. We hung out with old friends, made new friends, and most of all, we played a lot of backgammon. So this couldn't have been any better week. Hope to see you all next year, guys. Take care.